do 1 to 2 million.
That's like almost like 10 grand a month.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been fortunate enough never to work a day in my life.
Oh, how? How's that possible? Have you ever spoken to a millionaire? Maybe you are a millionaire. Maybe you know a millionaire personally. It could be your mother, it could be your father. Maybe you've never spoken to a millionaire. Either way, today I'm going to make it my mission in the most luxurious part of London where you have so many supercars and luxury brands. And I'm going to ask millionaires what they did to build their wealth, their tips and tricks on life, and just advice overall. So if you'd like to see that, stay tuned. This is going to be a banger. Sir, you look like a man with a lot of wisdom and you seem like you've got a good story. Yeah. I created a channel where we inspire the youth.
Yeah.
Could I get more of your time?
Of course.
Who am I here with today?
My name is Brad Santelli.
I noticed an accent. Where are you from?
Originally Philadelphia, but I live in Miami now.
Do you want to say where in Miami? I'm not sure if you want to say.
I live on the ocean.
You look like a man that's well dressed.
Thank
What
you.
do you do for a living?
So I own 15 orthodontic practices throughout the state of Florida.
How did you manage to own those?
You know, I started learning the business when I graduated residency, and I just started working for someone for 5 years. And then I went out and started 1 location, 2 locations, sold those to private equity, and then I went back and just kept scaling the locations. So 1 by 1.
How many employees do you have in total?
Probably 60 some, I would say. Yeah.
What's the most your orthodontics practices have generated in terms of revenue in a single year?
The best location does about 3.5 million a year, but typically, each location will do 1 to 2 million a year. Yeah.
What was your upbringing like? Did you happen to come from any money?
I came from nothing, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, my mother worked for an orthodontist, and she was an assistant. So I learned the business in my summers. And at the time, he had 8 locations. So he said, look, if you really want to make a lot of money, then this is a business that you can scale. So I kind of just learned it from him at a very young age.
Now, as a man that came from nothing and built something himself,
Yeah.
and now to where you've had a healthy income and you make a good living,
Yeah.
what's the biggest change you've noticed? It could be in terms of your lifestyle or how people treat you, etc. What's like a huge change you've noticed since?
Mostly financial freedom. You know, now I can, I don't have to stress about pretty much anything other than my children's behavior. But when you have financial freedom, life is a little bit easier. You know, it allows you to, make investments in other things, not have to stress always about making money every single day or every month, worrying about payroll, rents, the houses and cars and children, etc.
What's the best investment you've made over the time? And it doesn't have to be anything tangible. It could be time, etc.
The best investment always is in yourself. So for example, if I took $300,000 and put it in Apple stock,
Yeah.
I could take the $300,000 and open up a new location, and that $300,000 will be worth millions. So I think the best thing you could do is just invest in yourself, and you're going to make a lot more money that way.
How old were you when you made your first million?
I made my first million probably within a year and a half out of, when I first started practicing. I worked for a job on Fridays, and then Saturdays I used to work to go to different offices. So I was working 6 days a week for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, you had that
About
real
60
hustle
hours.
mindset.
Yeah, man, you come from nothing. You gotta, when you start making it, you start, smelling the money. It's a good thing. It motivates you.
Did you say you started off as an orthodontist yourself, like going to
Yeah,
the dentist?
correct. Yeah, I went to dental school and a residency. Yeah.
So how was that transition from being a dentist, like a doctor, to now becoming a businessman and owning essentially this company?
Well, what happens is after a while, you learn that you can only do so much yourself, and you're always in an office, treating patients every day.
Yeah.
And then you start to realize, God, if I did this on a greater scale, and I hired kids like you coming out of school, then it's a little bit easier because then you can make a lot more money. Yeah.
What's the best way to handle delegation?
Well, you have to have good staff, and I have good managers. Thankfully, they've all started with me from day one. So I train them, cross-train them, and they're pretty much my right-hand people. For example, I'll be calling them pretty much within the next 10 minutes here. The biggest thing is creating a good team culture. If anyone is not a good team player, we let them go. We have to have positive energy because it translates into every aspect of the practice. The patients feel it when they walk in. Customer service always has to be on par because there's a lot of competition.
How old were you when you started these firms, from going from an orthodontist to now owning a business?
So I started practicing when I was 28 years old, and I started my first practices when I was 34. Yeah. So now I'm 40. I'll be 48 in a few weeks.
For the younger generation of people who are oftentimes distracted by social media today, I mean, you spend all day scrolling, vicariously living through someone else. What would you say in terms of like eliminating distractions and procrastination?
Yeah, I don't do any of that. I wake up every morning at 4:30. I'm at the gym by 5. You know, I lift weights for an hour. I go home, I run for an hour, and then I just get on with my day. I don't even have social media because I think it's a complete distraction. You know, a lot of things I do is I listen to a lot of podcasts about self-improvement. There's a lot of these Denzel Washington videos that I've been doing, you know, watching recently. Just always about trying to become a better person, focusing on what really matters in life, just trying to become a better version of myself.
So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for stopping and talking to me.
Absolutely.
We just spoke to a doctor, a dentist, an orthodontist surgeon. I don't know if he was a surgeon, but he did something in orthodontics. And now he's a business owner of multiple practices. He said roughly 15, and one of them made 3 million in a single year. I mean, that's just one of them out of 15. He said it was the best performing, but the numbers are just insane. And he said he went from being a doctor to a business owner. I mean, to me, that's crazy impressive. And he was from Miami. He said he lives by the ocean, which means he has money, because it doesn't mean he's in like the Brickell City Center apartments. He has a home by the beach, basically, which is crazy to me. My overall point is that man made a ton of money doing what he enjoys, and he was a doctor, and his mother worked for an orthodontist, so he didn't really come from much, and he built something himself. And that to me is very inspiring. His energy just seemed different. I think it's the Americans, they have a little bit of an extrovertedness. Don't get me wrong, I love the British guys when we speak to them, but American people really willing to talk and share their story, and that I love. But let's get on to the next one. We get their life experiences and stories. You look like a man with wisdom in the story. Can we get a moment in time? You sure?
I wish you all best of luck.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate your politeness. Thank you. Take care. As you guys can see, we're on the busy streets of London, so people sometimes just might not have time, and that's fine. These happen. You're gonna get rejected. I've been doing this for a couple months, and it almost never gets easier until it gets easier during the day, you know? Until you just build the confidence to keep going. But rejections happen. Remember, rejection is just redirection. It's pushing you towards something else. So embrace it and keep going. Don't let it discourage you. Sir, excuse me, sir. So you look like a man with a lot of experience and wisdom. I created a channel where we inspire the youth. We ask people about their stories. Can I get a moment of your time? It'll be like a minute or two. Who am I here with today? What's your name?
Robin Garza.
Robin Garson. And like, what do? You look very you look stylistic, I'd like to say. Like, I like the hat and the glasses.
You know the mid-century modern furniture?
Furniture.
I'm just refinish.
Oh, you make it?
No.
Oh, sorry.
I recover from the furniture from the 50s and 60s, and then
and you resell it. Refurbish.
Yeah.
Oh, you refurbish it. I see. Okay. And how much would that go for? Like, let's say a unique piece that people want. How much could a piece from the 50s or 60s go for?
In dollars, like 10,000.
10,000.
Yeah, 15. 5. Depends of the designer and the model, but there's a lot of pieces that you cannot buy in any store. Everybody wants that furniture, but only a few can do it. You know, you can buy it. It's expensive.
What kind of clientele do you get? Like, what kind of people are reaching out to you to purchase this from you?
Rich
people. And is this like an individual thing you like to do?
Yes.
Oh, I see. So you do it. You take 100% of the profits. You do it yourself.
Yep.
No way.
I did a lot of things, but now is my passion and is my hobby.
Just in terms of numbers, how much could it cost to like purchase one from the 50s and 60s, refurbish it, and then how much can you sell it for? Like, what's the margins?
Well, if you are lucky, you can buy it like, for example, at $200.
Yeah.
Then you refinish it, and you can sell it if it's a good designer, maybe like 3,000, 4,000.
And how many times are you able to sell this a month? Like, how long does it take to refurbish a piece of furniture?
3 or 4 pieces for a month.
If you do like a piece for 2,000 or 3,000, that like 3 times a month, that's like almost like 10 grand a month.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive, man. All just from just refurbishing stuff.
Yep.
How old are you now?
55.
And how old were you when you started this?
45.
And what were you doing before that?
Banker.
Did you use a lot of the money you made from banking to then go into this passion and hobby?
Yep.
Okay.
I did.
When were you banking? Were you banking during like the 90s and 2000s?
Yeah, 90s.
When it was on its like highs? Damn.
Yeah.
What was that like? I'm just so curious.
It was boring.
Is it not like Wolf of Wall Street, like they make it seem like?
No.
Like active, high energy, no?
Boring job. So I had to take it out and do what I wanted to do.
And where are you from? I know it's an accent.
Mexico.
And were you born in Mexico?
Yeah, I live in Mexico.
Oh, you live in Mexico? So do you deal with the business in Mexico, or is it all over the world?
Yes, my store is in Mexico, and I send it to all the world,
So you're making like a healthy income, like a healthy living. But I can imagine in Mexico, You're probably living like a king now.
No.
Isn't that?
Thanks God, I'm living good.
You're living good,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
sir. Well, I appreciate your time, sir. Can I shake your hand?
Thanks a
What did
lot.
you say your name was?
Ruben Garza.
Now, although it's unclear whether this man right here is actually a millionaire or not, I included his story anyway because I thought his story was super interesting. Not only is making 10 grand in a single month an incredibly impressive amount, but he did it after quitting his job when he was working in finance, and he started his own antique furniture refurbishing business as an entrepreneur, and he's living in Mexico. Anyway, on to regular video. Question for you, sir.
Yeah.
I have a channel where we essentially try to inspire the youth. So I was just wondering, did you pursue any passions of yours? Like, what did you do?
I've been fortunate enough never to work a day in my life
Oh, how? How's that possible?
because the job I do is I love.
Well, what do you do exactly?
My wife and I, we manage and operate stately homes for the royal family of Qatar in London, Paris and Rome. I employ butlers, housemaids, chefs, valets, and I train them because these people are very important, very wealthy money, but they've got to focus on their business and they need someone to take care of their house, their laundry, their shirts, and stuff like that. So a young man like yourself, if you've done a couple of years, even as a waiter, get into the private household, your starting salary as an under butler would be £50,000 a year.
As a butler, 50 grand a year.
Starting.
That's starting as well, yeah.
But you work your ass off. It's hard work.
Yes, sir.
I was no good at school. I hated school many, many years ago. My father worked in the hotel industry. So from school, he used to say, right, come in the hotel. So started off as a waiter, school holidays, loved it, made some money. After that, I moved to London about 1920. Then I had a dream, so I joined the cruise ships, but I never told anyone. And I went on the cruise ships, didn't know where I was going, didn't know how much I was getting, traveled the world. The contract was for 6 months, no days off, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Decided to migrate to Australia, had 2 lovely boys in Australia. Then I came back to UK, I was headhunted. And I encourage young people, I say to my son the same thing, is that there are no shortcuts in life. Work your ass off. Be insistent, persistent and consistent.
You mentioned persistence. My channel is called Art of Persistence, and we're heavy on the fact of staying persistent and believing in something. So oftentimes we approach people just like we did with you, and you've been kind enough to stop and talk to us. But as you can imagine, oftentimes people may be like, I'm too busy or not right now. They may just not be in the mood. But the message overall I try to share is to keep it going and keep being persistent.
I agree. I say that's the same thing to my sons, and I think your channel is very, very important because young men and women, that especially in this life now, there's so many different kind of temptations, and everyone looks for a shortcut. Everyone looks for fast money. I can guarantee there is no fast money. To have the edge, to wipe out the opposition, look after your personal presentation like yourself. Doesn't always have to be a shirt and tie. Your grooming is important. Treat women properly. Be old-fashioned.
And I noticed you mentioned you were in the hospitality business for a long while, like cruise ships and hotels. What have you learned from people?
The most important thing about the hospitality industry is listen to them and give them exactly what they ask for. That's the secret of service. I wrote a book about it. I have a catchphrase, secret of service, just give them pecan pie. And how the catchphrase came about, it came from my memories of working on the ship as a waiter. And the cruise is very, very busy, very demanding. Anyway, this table I had, they were Americans. And I said to Braulio, my partner, I said, you look after the teas and coffees and I'll take the dessert order, okay? Right. So I gets to the first gentleman, what would you like? He said, I'll have crepe Suzette, banana split. And I gets to this lady who, I don't want to be derogatory, but she was an American, very large lady. She said, I would like a tiny slice of apple pie. Okay. So I said to the pastry chef, I want a tiny slice of apple pie. I said, I haven't got the time for this. So like a donkey, I'll go back and give it to her. Comes to the same scenario. I'm going around the table, and now I get to Mrs. Jones, we'll call her. Now, David, you didn't understand what I said to you yesterday. Tonight, I just want a tiny slice, a slither of cherry pie. Okay. But when I'm going to the galley, I said, my mind plays tricks with me. And I said, she's not asking for that. She's got a sweet tooth. She really wants a double portion. She said, what's the matter with you? Don't you understand? Third night comes. As I get to the table, I realize I'm going to be the court jester. And in unison, the whole table said, now, David, Mrs. Jones wants a slither of pecan pie. My ego got in the way. I said, how dare them talk to me like that? So I went straight into the galley, pushed 70 waiters out of the way. I went to my station. I cut the thinnest slice. For my ego, not for her. As I go to the table and I put the pecan pie on the table, the whole table looked at it because you could hardly see anything. That's what she asked for. That's what she's going to get. And her husband stood up, over 6 foot, a big American Texan, big silver belt, and he came towards me and he put his hand in his pocket. And Brella said, he's got a gun. He pulled out a $100 bill and he gave it to me. He said, "You're the first goddamn person that gave us what we asked for, and that is the secret of service. Just give them pecan pie."
Just give them what they ask for.
Exactly. Any service you do. I believe in manifestation. I want to travel the world, and it was a TV program came up. It was called Love Boat, these beautiful luxury cruise lines. And I said, I'm going to do that one day. And believe it or not, 3 days later, a newspaper article came up, and it said, silver service waiters required for luxury Caribbean cruise line. So I called them up. They said, come to London for an interview next day. I got on the train, never told anybody. Can you silver serve, spoon and fork? I went, yeah. He said, you got the job. You're going to America in 2 weeks.
And had you ever been to America at that point?
Never.
So what made you want to take that risk to travel around the world?
I've always believed, never waste a day. You know, young men and women, don't regret what you could have done, and don't blame anyone else. It's up to you. Just go for it. I was scared as hell. But I always said to myself, what's the worst thing can happen? I can always go back. I couldn't read or write until I got to the ships.
All right, so I'm going to tell on my generation here a little bit. We often waste a day by vicariously living through other people through scrolling on the internet.
Yeah.
What's your best advice for the younger generation to eliminate distractions and procrastination and pursue something?
Simple. Plan and prepare. I write down 6 things that I must do tomorrow. I plan for the month, the week, the day. You have to get up at 4:30 every morning before anyone's up, because you're ahead of the game. You're wiping the opposition. By the time it gets to 6:30, you've done half your checklist. Then you got to go to workout. You've got to go in gym, swim, run, walk. Always pretend your mum and dad's there. You know, the way you dress, the way you're courteous. Always be respectful. Good afternoon, good evening. You never know who they might be.
What's the best decision you've made or the best investment?
Travel the world. Nobody cares about you, and people want you to fail. I love taking the chances in life, because if I fail, it means I've learned another lesson.
Well, thank you very much, sir. I wish I could shake your hand. I know it's occupied.
David.
Mr. Henderson, you're
David
Henderson. That's it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope it was worth your time. I hope you're entertained, and I hope it was inspiring. There was some heavy hitters in this video, guys. Some 7-figure, 8-figure entrepreneurs, some people that made serious money doing what they enjoy, pursuing a passion, and I hope you get up and this inspires you to pursue something. So thank you so much for watching. Hit a like, and until next time.